Is it in the portal already?
Yes, under bonuses.
Yeah.
And I can put my email copy in there for the two.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because
And then like if we could get your email copy and maybe if it
I got the survey and the coaching calls.
Do you have it?
Andrei's too.
Do you have it in English by any chance?
Yes, it's in English.
Oh, cool.
And I have 3 mind maps: the structure of the coaching, the mastermind, and the exotic event. So I'll share it with you.
And Erico, can we get yours in English?
Yeah.
Or I mean, I'll pay to get it translated.
No, yes, I think we can.
That'd be great.
And there's one thing that I actually missed that made a huge difference. When you get people on the phone, they will sometimes call and say, "Oh, great, this is not the right time. Can I get the next one?" So a lot of people want to take the leap, but they are not courageous enough to give 25 grand, so they want to give the next one. So whatever you do, create something that there is no next one. So for example, my book was, I'm in Berlin, I'm stepping Brazil for 2 days, and I will be an extra 2 days, so there will be no next one. And I don't know if I'm never ever gonna do this anymore. So there is some, so put some element, so they understand this is it.
Yeah, for the Bryan brothers one, they had won the Australian Open, the French, and Wimbledon in succession. So they had won the U.S. Open. They would have had something called the Calendar Grand Slam, which hasn't been done since 1951. So that event was before the U.S. Open. So I just said, this is never going to happen again. Like, you're never going to have somebody on the precipice of completing the Calendar Grand Slam. So that was to Erico's point, just a once in a lifetime thing.
Because you're gonna be talking to a lot of almosts, and this is it's not good.
Yeah. So let's go Sweta.
So I just want to ask a little bit more about walking them through the process. So if you have like a woo-woo topic, so like let's say I'm going to take them on a retreat to Peru, and I'm going to walk them through that whole process of what it's like. When I do my coaching packages, we do the transformation, through the process. Would you do the same thing as far as what they're going to, they're going to get the exclusive experience of traveling, but then the content of working with them, how much do I describe, and what's the approach to that? Just the transformation, or?
Will wrote a beautiful email, just model Will.
Okay.
I mean, the email is just,
Okay.
And Victoria did an awesome one as well, actually. If you could actually add Victoria's to the package, it would be not, I mean.
Yeah,
Got it. I took Will's copy, like verbatim, and I just swapped in my material, which was this exclusive event in New York City. And I sent it out, and the price was $6,500. And people were thanking me for inviting them. Thank you so much. I mean, it was the opposite of a sales letter where you're pushing it. It was just people being so grateful to be included.
I think
one of my clients did a Sparta offer for a yoga retreat, and her last launch had grossed, I think, something like $10,000, and she was selling the yoga retreat at $12,000 a piece, and hoping to get at least one person so that they could both fly to Rishikesh in India, and that would pay for her ticket. And she sold, so she rehearsed. So I said, rehearse the call before you do it, because you might be nervous. She rehearsed the call with her neighbor. Her neighbor bought on the spot. Said, all right, that might be a good
We got a live one.
Yeah. And the trick is, so the yoga retreat was all woo-woo, and the greatest way I think to describe the woo-woo thing is to describe the surrounding and the peace and all of that. Like on the first day, you'll arrive in Rishikesh and you'll see how beautiful this sacred place is, and then we'll sit on this sacred temple, and you use the surroundings as the way to describe the feelings and the things that they will feel emotionally, and that's how she did it, and it worked well.
So Tom, Mark.
Hey guys, thanks. 2 questions. Did you build a risk reversal into anything in this, or was it just total Sparta, take it?
that's the whole thing. I even add my flair. If they go through the process And at the end they say, well, you know, I don't have the money, or I don't plan to buy, it just was interesting to me. I tell, my thing is, I tell them, you mean you just wasted 40 minutes of my time doing this interview, knowing in advance you're not going to buy it? I'm banning you as a client. I don't want you ever in any of my events. So this is it. This is your last conversation. Thank you, goodbye, click. And I write a blog post about it, like fuming. So after that, like I had only 2 people say, I'm sorry, and they would say in the beginning, if I don't have the money, can you please don't ban me? But I will try to come up with the money. So it's a good thing. There is no guarantee. On a high-end ticket, there is no guarantee. It's like your thought is, what if somebody would say with the yoga retreat, oh, I can do it myself. But this is not the people that call. Like, it's the same thing with the car. Yes, you can fix it yourself. You probably can put it together from like spare parts, but who would do it, right? Like you would go buy a new car. Same thing here. Yes, you could organize this trip yourself, could be cheaper. Even cheaper not go anywhere and just sleep at home, right? So this is not the people that call and buy the package.
Great answer. Second part, minimum advance time for something like this. Is this something that they need a lot of lead time or not much? Your experience?
I did the Sparta in July, and I was thinking, okay, I gotta make the event in September, and then I sent to the mastermind, well, I have this launch coming up and everything, is it going to mess my calendar up? Somebody told me, why wouldn't you ask the people? Like, I asked the people that took the offer, and I sent them, because on the call I didn't have the dates, and in the survey either. I sent them another survey saying, would you like it in September, October, November, December, January, until March? And an overwhelming majority of the people voted for like 5 months later to get their arrangements in place and travel and flights and everything. So for me, I prefer to plan it like, I'm going to do a Sparta offer because every time I hear Andrei talking about it, I have to do one. So I'm going to do one this month, and the event is going to be probably 4 months out, something like that.
Yes.
I just want to add a comment, because we screwed up in one area, well, a lot, but one thing that we didn't think of is, I was checking holidays when we picked our dates, but one of the things I had thought of was Mother's Day, and I think 4 people couldn't come because of Mother's Day. And then it was also crossing over another event, it was crossing over with South by Southwest. So if there are other events that are similar to yours, or the types of events, even Father's Day where people would want to be around, steer clear.
I just want to add one more thing. To my shock, you will get people in this high-end thing that's going to be their first transaction with you. And it's going to be about, with my experience, it's about 20 to 25% of people taking out and up on this offer is going to be their first transaction. And I came to them and asked them, why? I have $1,000 products, I have books, I have like reasonably priced. So we don't want to deal with people that buy reasonably priced. We want to go to the next. We are accustomed to these types of events, and when we finally saw that we're finally doing them, that's where we decided to go. So it's a nice first transaction.
I had a person tell me, well, I've been to several of your events as a guest with somebody else, and actually I don't like your content and your teaching. And I was on the call for the Sparta offer, so I'm thinking she's going to say, I just wanted to make you lose time. And she's like, so I don't like your content and the way you teach, but I like the people. So sign me up.
Marco, here's it.
Yeah, I have 3 quick questions. One, Andrei just mentioned. I was wondering if also for Will, Sebastian, and Erika, how many of those who sign up are from the prospects list, and how many are from the customers list? And Andrei just said 25%. I was wondering if that applies also to your experience. And then Sebastian and Enrico said that they were looking for very small numbers of people, like 4 or 5. And you guys were setting up something like an event or a mini workshop, and I was wondering why, and if that's a good idea to always follow. And also for this high ticket, very focused event, what type of content are you giving? Is it like more like a workshop, a focused workshop with these people where you work exactly on their problems? Do you plan a program with some content that you give? How are you structuring it?
So my idea is I'm going to Brazil. I'm going to have my mastermind anyway, so I can book the event for another 2 days and test whatever they were doing if they would be applicable in Brazil. So that was the idea for myself. So I wanted to spend 2 other days. So the offer I gave to them said, you know, I am this guy that is very successful in launches, and it's impossible to hire me because I actually do more money working for me than working for other people. However, I'm already in Brazil, so I'm extending these 2 days. I will work on whatever you want me to work for 4 hours, and you're gonna see me working for 4 hours on other businesses, and at the end of it, you will see me transforming 4 businesses in front of your eyes. And I want only at Sunday, and at Sunday the offer is over. So I will not consult with you. I will not help you later. That was the offer itself. So the profile of mine, I did not want to have known clients because, you know, imagine I have just 4 hours with the guy. So what I did is that just before the thing, I set up one of your questionnaires for launches, like the whole thing, up and down. They had like 80 questions. And I said to himself, I'm going to give you these questionnaires. Chances are that if you fill this most and give me before, I will be able to transform your business right on. So they had to do a lot of work before. I mean, they were crazy. And probably if they just done that, they would be have their money back. So just answer the questionnaire. So that was my offer.
Yeah, I had something similar when people, because the event was 4 months out, people were starting to email like, so can you give us any more information? What are we going to do? Is it going to be personalized? Stuff like that. So I decided to use Andrei's method, which is if you want your customers to give you a break, you give them work. So I did just like Enrico, and I sent them a 20-page questionnaire. I said, fill that out before the event and bring it with you. Content-wise, I just knew the outcome I wanted for them, and I had these 8 things I had planned in the email based on what they wanted, but during the event we didn't actually cover more than 3 of the 8 things, because to get them to the outcome, they didn't need 8 things. And I think what's interesting about the Sparta offer is it can be something very simple, like much less content and much less complex of an offer than your online course.
And to play off that point, the first, the City Open event I did, the very first one, was way too much stuff. It was 3 days of, you know, clinic on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, that was too much. And so with the Bryan Brothers in New York, it was a 5-hour event. It was a 2-hour dinner, 3-hour clinic the next day, 10 grand.
No difference in conversion.
And the Bryan event was better.
And there is one
Bryan's
thing about
event
the
was
Sparta offer, and you probably don't notice now, but imagine if you do a 10,000 and you sell none. No one will know. In fact, your list you will be positioning yourself to your list. So you've made an offer for $10,000. So no one will know. I'm not saying that you should say that there's a lot of people that came, but if they ask, people don't ask. So if you want to actually true position, and if you do that after a launch, you have the list, everyone is warm, they want you, they have been with you for 3 pre-launch conference, and I mean, I think it's a very good, or you could do that as Andrei teaches as well, after live events, right, Andrei?
The VIP day after live event is also perfect as a...
After you speak at live events, you were teaching us as well, right?
Well, the thing is, if you answer the question about content, The general rule is the more money they pay, the less content you give them. Seriously, where you can get the most content right now? Google. It's free. So then it goes to the book, right? It's a lot of content, $20. Then if you're trading, $500, $1,000, then it's less and less, and coaching is even less. You tell them that do this, and in the high-end coaching, just do only this thing, and that's it. And another thing is to put a seed in your mind that a super Sparta offer. There are people that are accustomed of paying $250,000 for the lunch with, like political lunch, the lunch or charity dinner with the big politicians, etc., etc. Most of us, or all of us, we don't have a $250,000 offer, not even $100,000 offer. So that's something to think about, the super Sparta. But it's the next step.
Yeah, there's one thing I have to warn you though about the super Sparta is that people might actually try to take you up on that offer. I did with the 250,000 euro offer, and that brings me to an important point regarding the offer that you're making. To me, it has to be a simple offer, like with a clear transformational outcome, and it has to be such a simple and nice offer that even if one person signed up, you'd be happy to deliver that. And I did a 250,000 offer, and I had 12 people apply for that. But then I realized the offer I was making was going to make my life hell for a year if I took even one person. So I won't make that mistake again. Like the one I did at 25,000 was great because if I had just one person, we'd just be like having lunch, and then I wouldn't even have to rent a room. We'd go to a cafe and talk all day, and I'm done, and they would get their money's worth. I think that's more valuable.
So I just want to underline a few things that they said here. This last couple minutes was mind-blowing because, first of all, Erico, when he said, this is a no-risk offer for you, because if no one takes it, you still built the positioning of your business. If 0 people take the offer, you have a stronger business because you made the offer and the people on your list assume that you filled it. So this is like a no-risk situation. And then what Andrei was just saying about the more you charge, the less you give them is critical, but it's not the less, you still will give them a huge amount. You'll deliver tremendous value. But think about an hour ago when I was talking about forgiveness. And we were talking about hitting big goals. Did any of you get any value whatsoever out of that? Okay. Now, if I put that in a $7 report and tried to sell it on the Warrior Forum about how you have to forgive yourself, I wouldn't be able to sell that. And no one would get any value, and everyone who bought it would be like going on the forum and saying, this guy's a jackass. He's selling me I paid $7, and he told me I'm supposed to forgive myself. Everyone would be refunding it. That's what would happen. Exactly. But we have high-end people here, and you take value out of the important stuff, like your mindset. So you don't come in here, and I don't have to teach you how to turn a Word document into a PDF and upload it someplace so people can, I don't have to tell you what camera to use to shoot your YouTube videos. Because you're smart enough, you're going to talk to the people around you. Or you're going to go Google it. You're here to have your mind blown wide open. And that's the people you are going to get. No matter what field you're in, the people you're going to get are going to be there for the experience. They're going to be there to touch the hem. To touch the hem, you know that term? So basically, you are the star. They want to be near you. They want to touch the hem. They want to absorb. They want to breathe the air you're breathing. They want to absorb your secret sauce. You know, your launch, 15 people bought. Well, 5 of them would have bought it 10 grand. Yeah. So it's awesome you did the lunch, but you sort of pulled the cream of the crop for a $2,000 offer or $1,000 offer. But what Andrei, he wasn't saying you don't want to deliver value or you're not going to deliver value. It's just you're not going to deliver a lot of tangible things. So to answer your question, it's not about we're going to teach you how to make that PDF. We're going to just blow your mind open because you're going to be around me, you're going to be around other super high-end people, and we're going to give you a great experience. So.
And that's a good lesson just for your info products too. I mean, I started putting way less in my stuff and charging the same amount or more, and people actually get more value out of it. It's not a brain dump. It's like, here are the 3 things you need to do to get a better forehand.
Christina. Well, all the mics are on all the time.
Okay. So this is.
Yeah, that's just a general, just a general, two general things. All mics are on all the time, and if you leave the room during a session, don't let the door close on its own because it'll slam and it's very disturbing.
Okay, so this is a question for Will because you, in your events, you always have other experts, and you're just saying people want to be close to you. So do you think you could have pulled that off if it was only you teaching, or do you need the extra experts?
Yeah, I think I could pull it off. I'm actually going to try it soon, so I'll keep you posted.
After Will did that, I forbid him on our plus group. I was like, okay, well, from now on, all the celebrity ones are 25 grand, and the Will ones are 10 grand. So, yeah.
Actually, in the ideal world, like half a year from now, that will be reversed. Celebrities are 10,000, and with Will, no, it's seriously.
No, right. Yep.
That's what has to be. You have to position yourself above the celebrity. So it's because then it's the right thing to do for the people. Otherwise, you're just serving the celebrities. And this way, is you put together celebrities, you talk to them, you mingle with them, make a photo or whatever story. Now, people that paid serious money come talk to me for the day after that. We're gonna do some serious damage.
Does this open up any ideas for anyone? Some of you see how this could work? Is anyone having a hard time visualizing how this could work in your business? You having a hard time, Christina? Okay, so can you grab a mic, let's talk about this? So do you guys, what do you think about Christina? Do you think she could pull this off?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is in my market, so the expert that Will is attracting, for example, you can't just call them up going, hey, I'm willing to pay you $1 million. Can I just, will you please come and teach me tennis? Like Brian Burroughs. In my market, the experts, you can just call them up basically, and if you have the money, they'll come teach you. So I'm thinking I need to attract experts from other countries or something, because in Denmark why are you shaking your head? Because in Denmark they're affordable, sadly. So it's like the positioning thing is kind of hard because they're not. I can't go, oh, it will cost you this amount of money, because it won't.
If you would have to buy every single horse that will be there and bring all those people, you'll spend over $1 million. Here, you come to my event for $10,000. All of those big names will be here. We'll teach you specifically how to do it.
Well, then you're talking about
And the
more
horse.
meetings. You're not talking. I mean, Will didn't. Oh, I didn't assume you had like several experts. You had something going on only with the Bryan Brothers, right?
Well, that was with the Bryan Brothers thing. The city was a little different, City Open, but I mean, what you're describing to me fundamentally just sounds like a copy problem.
Okay.
And the idea with the horses is a great idea. Like getting top horses.
What was that? Sorry.
The idea of Andrei's idea with the horses is a great idea. Getting top horses, because I know a horse's price can go really high, right? There are $1 million horses probably.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how much would I spend to ride $1 million horse?
I have no idea.
With a top trainer. So I don't care the price that I could theoretically pay $350 to get the top trainer to train me on my horse that's half dead Messes them up, right? Or I could work with like Susan's dog. Like I could get Susan to train my dog, but I couldn't. But it's a different thing from going and training with Susan's dog as a champion than being able to apply that to my dog.
And not always people think like you. Not always people rationalize. Because some people are so rich, so rich. This guy that came to my thing was making $1 million a month. And for him, paying 25 grand to see me helping him, it was same as buying bread.
Yeah, I had a billionaire in my private
For some people, this is same
He
as
just
buying
said, no
butter.
pictures. Just please, no pictures. And I said, I'm sorry, VIP day, we had some organizational problems in Prague. I said, don't worry, just let's talk for an hour. That's not, let's go have lunch. That's it. I mean, you're living in your head. This is what I'm trying to say. And it's very hard for you if you have financial problems to realize that. I've been there and a number of times. It's really hard to get it through your head.